By now, you've definitely heard the news. The SEC has sued Binance, and the SEC has sued Coinbase. And then on Friday, two huge funds dumped their altcoins in response. And pretty much every coin out there, with the exception of Bitcoin and Ethereum, went down a good 20% or more in a single day. But regardless of what the SEC does, this is not the end. Far from it, actually. So do not despair. In this video, I'm going to cite 3 irrefutable reasons why crypto will survive. And if you're up for it, I will also provide 2 super useful trading tips that you can use in order to capitalize amidst all the chaos. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. I always wish you luck if you choose to invest, but just remember, I'm not a financial or investment advisor, and therefore this video is not official financial or investment advice. Let's zoom out. Let's take a big picture perspective and go macro here for reason number 1. The logic is very simple. Crypto is global. And let's be honest, that may be the case, but either way, this has probably been a pretty stressful few days, perhaps longer for you if you've occupied this cryptocurrency space. For us at Altcoin Buzz, for myself as well, no question. But again, let's step back, take the emotion out of it, and use that logic again for a second. Right now, 1 in 5 Americans, or 20%, use crypto in some way, shape, or form. And that's a lot of people in a country of 320 million. Some would say more, maybe 350 million at the top range. But being conservative, it's a good 64 million people. Again, 1 in 5. But crypto is more than just the United States or North America or the Western Hemisphere. Crypto is multinational and transnational. India, for example, alone has almost twice that number that I just mentioned in the States at 115 million. And then take China. They have nearly the same number of users as the US, and crypto is illegal there. So of China's 1.2 billion people, 5.5% or about 66 million use crypto. And the Chinese government, as you know, is one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world. Now, don't get me wrong, because for now, the most investment infrastructure and human capital for crypto is in the US. And if this Operation Choke Point is a success to cut off the on-ramps to crypto, that will hurt. But it is not the death sentence that a lot of people out there are presuming it is. It's just not, because other high population countries with at least or near 20% adoption in their countries include Nigeria, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brazil. Those are just a few. And there are a lot of potential hubs out there emerging for crypto outside the US, places like Dubai, Singapore, London, and Malta. That's just to name a few. Of course, there are many others. Don't forget Zug in Switzerland. And so at the end of the day, even worst case scenario, let's say the SEC does drive crypto out of the United States. It's not going to stop the global movement. The world is not the United States, and companies located in America will simply relocate and find offshore jurisdictions. That's it. The fundamentals are the same. They have not changed at all. If anything, they keep improving. Let's take a look at this list of coins here, many of which I'm sure you're very familiar with. Matic, Atom, ADA, XRP, CHZ, BNB, and SAND, S-A-N-D, the sandbox. Okay, so I'm going to put this question to you. What is fundamentally different in these coins, in their blockchains, in their technologies now versus a week ago? We're going to look at 4 of the biggest coins on this list, and 3 of them, Matic, Atom, and Cardano, are 0% different than they were exactly 1 week ago. And if you like their fundamentals, maybe their roadmap or their future vision, their ambitions, the liquidity of the token, or whatever other variables that, are interesting to you, literally nothing is different from your perspective. And the 4th one on the list that we're looking at is a bit of a special case here, XRP. Because XRP actually looks like it's in even better shape than it was a week ago. There is more and more evidence and opinions coming out to suggest that XRP will win their case against the SEC. So at the end of the day, if you were a fan of Polygon and Cardano at 83 cents and 37 cents respectively, why wouldn't you like them even more at their current prices of 64 cents and 28 cents at the time of this recording? These represent discounts of 27 and 23% in just a week when, once again, fundamentally, nothing has changed. Personally speaking, and this is just me, maybe you'll agree, maybe you'll disagree, But as I see it, the SEC is not going to bully me out of my favorite projects. And if nothing has fundamentally changed across all those projects that I follow, that I'm a fan of, that I report on, then why wouldn't I take advantage of this opportunity? Eventually, the dust will settle. If the SEC absolutely insists, again, worst case scenario, on absolutely eliminating American participation in cryptocurrency, the best firms and the best platforms in the world, at least the centralized ones, will find jurisdiction elsewhere. But these projects are not going to stop. Reason number 3, Bitcoin and Ethereum relative strength. So the SEC would not attack cryptocurrency if it did not see the value in it. You guys probably know the expression. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. If crypto did not represent some kind of threat, either directly or indirectly to the SEC's interest, they wouldn't bother with all these aggressive lawsuits. But the fact is, crypto does pose a threat. And there's already a parallel crypto economy. It has its base money in Bitcoin. It has payment coins in ETH and stable coins. And ultimately, if you extrapolate, people will not need US banks or the SWIFT system in the same way they did before. Arguably, already today, they're not needed. A lot is changing, in other words. And because BTC is already considered a commodity for the most part and not a security, it didn't really suffer the way altcoins did. And the good news is that Ethereum looks like it's on the road to becoming a commodity as well. And whether or not that's 100% true, it seems like the market mostly believes it is. So instead of going down 20% or more, BTC and ETH are down a few percentage points, actually 2.9% and 6.4% respectively. Still a little bit painful, but not to the degree that we saw with the altcoins out there. Because markets know that these two are not going anywhere. And if the altcoins have to force sell, they're going to sell for one of these two safer options. And Bitcoin is clearly the safest token in the entire industry for investment because it's the only one with clarity really worldwide. So don't despair. Things are going to be good in the long term. There is a day in the future where we're going to see all-time highs across the board, especially for our favorite high-quality projects. Here now are those 2 useful trading tips that I promised. So as I see it, if you're a trader, really there are 2 ways that you can look at this. Either number 1, very short term, or number 2, very long term. Let's keep both of those perspectives in mind. So tip number 1, very simply, is to bargain hunt. Because like my examples that I mentioned earlier, Polygon and Cardano, you can bargain hunt with those and you could probably earn a quick 10, 15, 20, maybe even 25%. And that's just if the price recovers to where it was a week ago. Now, we don't know for certain how long that'll take, but assuming that it does return to last week's prices, which is almost 100% guaranteed, that's going to be a nice ROI for you. And it may not take all that long. In terms of bargain hunting, you also have a great opportunity now to seek out those great projects that are doing good fundamental work in the midst of this bear market. And again, if nothing fundamentally has changed, you still love that project, you've vetted them, and you're confident in them, then now's a great time to buy and hold them. Our second trading tip is to check liquidity. Because liquidity can be a problem in crypto. Let's take a look at Matic as an example. Matic is liquid. It traded, as you can see, $560 million in the last 24 hours, and only one of the top 10 exchange pairs by volume is a US exchange. Coinbase, as you can see, did about $14.6 million. So even if all that goes away, the top 3 trading pairs on Binance and OKX did 10 times that amount. And therefore, Matic is going to be fine. But the point is that you're going to want to do this for any other coins that you may want to buy. Don't count the DEXs, because DEX buyers can be from anywhere, but do check out the centralized exchange volume like we just did here. You can do it on CoinGecko, as you can see. You can also sort by 24-hour volume if you prefer. And honestly, you're going to see that the Coinbase and Binance US impact on this token and many others is going to be minimal. Don't worry too much about it.